I'm a little bit sick today, but you know what makes you feel better when you're sick? Watching Gods of StarCraft battle. It's
Gods
awesome.
of StarCraft. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yeah. I think this would be
They
a
fight for
particular.
our entertainment, man. They're like gladiators.
True. I actually think this one's really interesting. I haven't seen stats. Like, I've been really blessed and spoiled seeing Zest and a bunch of others, but haven't seen stats enough recently. So I don't know if he's going to be doing the classic, you know, Dark Shrine, Warp Prism moves here versus Lucira, or if he's going to be going for more upfront adept attacks, or what his plans are. But very interested to see how a player as good as him controls, handles, and what builds he chooses to go for.
Yeah, I can't wait until I have like a good day where I just can sit at home and watch StarCraft because I've got the Shoutcraft Kings VOD lined up. And I really need to catch up to it because Stats actually beat Dark and Snoot in Shoutcraft. He went down to Scarlet a little bit later on in that, but he had a great win streak. He's been showing amazing play throughout the year against Zerg, super solid. So Losira's definitely got his work cut out for him here.
Well, Lucira proved to be quite good. If you guys do recall, he's actually coming down from the winners match, so had a great start to his group. Didn't even lose that badly in the winners match. So lots of good things to be said about this guy. Spawning here in the bottom right, the blue Zerg player, Lucira.
And his opponent up here in the top left-hand side, our red Protoss player, it is Stats.
And Stats sending that probe out pretty quick. Looking for some...
Up against, looking for a pretty quick spawning pool that might be coming out. Oh, look. Losira going for I think it was a 12 pool. It might have been a 13 pool because it does look slightly late for a 12 pool, but nonetheless, a very early spawning pool. I'm going to be going for a Zergling Rush. Interestingly, sending his drone down to his natural to make it look like he's going for the hatchery. Okay, so he wants Stats to deny the imaginary hatchery here. And to Stats' vision, it looked Losira really wants that hatchery. Losira even going to send a second drone to really try and sell the story. He wants him to put a pylon down here. He wants him to stay down there, but no, it looks like he's going to dive on into that main base and find out right now.
This isn't necessarily something that, like, even though Stats sees this and confirms this, it doesn't exactly set him up for greatness, though, because he's still vulnerable with the wall off he's created back on this side of the field.
I actually think this is probably the more solid wall off against it. And I honestly think Stats should always end up ahead here. Chrono boosting the Zealot, putting down an immediate second pylon and Cybercore, delaying his Nexus. Textbook response from him.
I really like the second pylon. It's when that first one gets depowered, it throws everything off. But if he's got that backup pylon ready to go, this won't be so bad, even if the first pylon goes down.
And that Zealot chews through so much supply. And you want to start a second Zealot or Adept sometimes very quickly as well. So look at this preparation here from Stats. Already got extra probes there backing this up, adding an extra pylon as well, just to create a very solid choke, using these probes to buffer for that Zealot to make sure it doesn't get surrounded. And once the second Zealot is out, this rush is all but held. Of course, Stats is losing a bit of mining time for this. This isn't for free, but now that there's two Zealots out, he can pretty much just focus on taking that Nexus, and Losira is not going to find any direct damage.
Cybercore loses his shields, but still nothing too serious just yet. Obviously, if Losira could pick off a Cybercore, that would be the dream, but with his Lings already having taken so much damage, a direct fight with the Zealots is kind of out of the question. Even if he gets a full surround. Losira actually has
gone up to 14 Zerglings here as well. He really committed a lot to this. So even though his hatchery is almost finished, you might be like, hey, look how much faster his hatchery is than the Nexus. Stats is up at 23 workers. Stats has got a Twilight Council down in the second gas. Stats here with the textbook defense, and Losira committing so much to that by going up to 14 Zerglings rather than the more typical 10, is now a little bit behind in this game.
Well,
Adepts are going to be able to put on some pressure as well.
That's
no
true.
Zergling speed.
Losira, though, is quite the fighter. And, well, he is certainly not in a great spot right now. He's one I could see fighting himself out of it. Not easily, obviously, but I don't know. I feel like most other Zergs, we contemplate the standard stuff. Losira's probably thinking about things like Overlord drops or Nidus Worms, like just potentially things that could get him back into this.
Resonating Glaives is on the way now for Stats. Stats doing a good bit of pressure here with these Adepts, just make things awkward for Losira. And Losira here with this hefty number of Zerglings, but not really able to take that third base just yet.
Yeah, no speed either, so really not able to use these to their fullest potential. In fact, still not starting speed even. Ooh.
Looks like it will be a big Adept pressure follow-up as the second and third gateways do go down. Losira has good vision of this. His Overlord comes in, checks the Chrono Boost there on the upgrading Twilight Council and says, yeah, okay. You're going for that Resonating Glaives probably. Just going to be prepared for that by putting down a Roach Warren at home, taking his own third base. And Losira just steadily going to keep on adding on these drones. He is keeping up in workers on Stats for the moment, so I think Losira is in an okay position. It all comes down to if he can shut down this Adept pressure, and with how quickly that's coming across the map, his Roach Warren's not even done. Ooh, this is going to be a really tough hold. No Zergling speed, no Roaches. Oh, man.
Yeah, I think the speed's going to be hurting the most because he had that gas for such a long time, and I'm not sure if that was intentional, accidental. Either way, he's not going to have speed, and that's going to really sting. He could go for a full wall off here, and if he actually got that third chamber down in time, oh, he still might. It may force him to give up the third, but not dying in the process might be better.
More and more Adepts are warping in here. 2 Stargate follow-up behind this 4 Stats. Might be going for that heavy Phoenix follow-up. Maybe turtling up to carriers after some Void Rays. Does grab a Queen in the open. There we go, the direct damage starting up. Stats already here has done so much out of this, though. Just forcing those Evo Chambers, forcing so many units out. Now damaging the hatchery. I think Stats is very happy with this position. He just doesn't want to throw the Adepts away. And I think he's completely happy to just go. Actually, no, he brings in another 3 Adepts. Oh, man, he's going to keep the pressure up for sure.
Well, while this is going on, double Stargate's pumping some Phoenix behind this. So if it's not one thing, it's another out of Stats. And Losira's focusing so much on these Adepts, I don't think he's even considering what's possibly coming up next.
That being said, Losira's done a great job of holding this pressure without any direct drone losses so far, but more and more Adepts coming in. Oh man, that is 15 Adepts. And that Shade looking very dangerous right now. Spore Crawlers are down for Losira. Just 1 in each base though. Once those Phoenix get to a high count, they don't really care about a single Spore Crawler. Stats though is still on 2 base. He's still committing to just masses and masses of Adepts. And I actually start to worry for him here. I think Losira is defending this so well that Stats might actually be overcommitting to the aggression. He's only now looking like he wants to go up for that 3rd Nexus.
Well, with the warp in of more Adepts, the Phoenixes finally reached the front line, but I'm curious like what they prioritize picking up here. There's not exactly that many Queens out. Roaches don't die too quickly in the air. Adepts gonna shade on through. Not sure if he'll actually take this transfer. This might be a good one to take. Beats the Lings, but nope, goes for another cancel.
Oh, he's going to commit on in here. The Phoenix starting to pick up those Roaches one at a time. The Zerglings just disappear. They do next to nothing. And now it is the much more drawn-out battle of Adepts versus Roaches. But those Adepts, they have the mobility. Oh, the Evo Chamber block doesn't get up in the main base. He's going to go right on into that mineral line. He's going to shade on away. As soon as these Roaches close with them, the Adepts are already going to be shading back out to the 3rd.
That was such a cool attempt to put that Evo Chamber down. I love Losira's thinking in this, but unfortunately for as smart as he is, brains don't beat brawn in this instance.
He's done a really good job, though. Keep in mind, right now, he hasn't really lost many drones, but he's got to keep it up. He hasn't shut it down just yet. He's getting the Evo Chamber down now. The Adept count is getting lower and lower, and I think Losira might have almost held this. The Zerglings and Roaches are finally wrapping around the last Adepts, shading down towards that 3rd. There's more units popping out constantly. Losira is going to be able to shut this down in the near future, and actually kept drone parity. This is not too bad a spot. Losira here showing great poise in the face of the super mobile aggression. At the end of that, he actually comes out in an alright spot.
Well, the Phoenixes don't really have a lot to oppose them, so just kind of picking away at everything. While this goes on, a fleet beacon starts up back at home. And while every part of me wants to see Stats do something dirty, like just turtle up towards carriers, I'm not sure if that's necessarily what he'll be able to afford to do. I mean, he put so much into everything he lost on the front lines. If Losira starts putting on some pressure, I mean, Phoenix is going to lift up a very limited amount of units. They're going to be picking up all these Lings, for example. Third base gets picked off, maybe? Nah, there's a lot of adepts back at home, actually.
Yeah, they can definitely shut down the Zerglings, but if he does mass roaches, that might cause a problem. Right now, it looks like Losira, yeah, he wants to be aggressive. Unfortunately, all of his Zerglings get sectioned off by those rocks, and that's about 30 Zerglings going down for nothing. Oh no, that's not a good start to your aggression yet. Losira is going for the queen push across the map. He's got 9 queens leading the charge here. Those carriers are only just starting. There's only 8 Phoenix. 8 Phoenix do not beat 9 carriers. I don't think Stats realize this is happening right now. He hasn't spotted it.
That's a lot of Ravagers, too. Carriers are not fast units. They'll eat those corrosive biles with how big and slow they are.
Oh, man. Stats is caught completely unawares here. Looks like Losira with this push. I don't think it's going to be stopped. That's a good count of adepts. They're going to try and zone past and fight the reinforcements maybe, but there's just too many queens there right now. The Phoenix may be able to use their mobility, but already one Phoenix almost goes down. The Ravagers and Lings are in on top of everything. The Adept Micro is so good from Stats, but finally they get surrounded. The Corrosive Bile tears apart that mushy inner circle of Adepts. They all go down. A couple queens at the back are being picked off, but the third is forfeit. Losira, though, not even focusing it. He wants to kill here. He wants to keep pushing in. First carrier is out on the field, just trying to build up a 50% count right now.
The Mothership might be an interesting save here. It's close to coming out. There's no detection for Losira, no Overseers or anything like that. But it might be one of those things that comes out too late, despite the fact that it's so close to finishing up. The carriers have already lost a good chunk of their interceptors. Corrosive Bile's looking to land. Ugh.
Yeah, and, oh, there's just, oh no, just before it finishes. Oh man. That Mothership not able to get out. The Interceptors are overwhelming the Queens, but it's a little bit too little too late. The Zergling Flood dives into the main. The Ravagers clearing out the natural. The third base is already dead. There is no way for Stats to secure his economy. He'll hold eventually with the carriers, but he'll have no economy left on the ground.
This is great. This is so great. Losira failed so... This was kind of like his series last time too, right? Like he failed so miserably at a lot of things, but then made the game work. And I kind of feel like this is a great example of like it did. Brute force was amazing in this game.
Yeah, you know, he respected the pressure. Stats went for such a huge commitment to that aggression, and Losira was constantly ready with the correct roachling numbers. He didn't overdrone at all, had the perfect amount of units. And yeah, then, you know, Stats not scouting this push coming until a little bit too late, not having any cannons down. The Adepts were not the right units to deal with that Queen Ravager. And now he is out of probes. Stats is going to do one desperate counter push with, I mean, what's he got in his army? 3 carriers, 7 Phoenix. Not going to get too much done. 1 carrier is left at home, so it's actually 7 Phoenix, 2 carriers up against 8 Queens and a whole lot of spores going down.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure that there's any real hope. The Queens, they feel alone, are going to do enough damage to kill the Interceptors. And sure, Interceptors are cheap, right? 5 minerals, who cares? But they're just not going to chew through what should be Transfuses and Queen DPS. Although,
and he's only got enough money to build about... Oh, actually, you know, he cancelled a unit back at home. He's got 500 minerals. He can build like 4,000 Interceptors with that.
There's 8 Corruptors coming up, though. I feel like the best bet he had would have been taking out the Queens, just lifting them all and let the carriers try and beat them to death, but that's not going to happen with the Corruptors out. Those are going to focus fire down the carriers. They'll just dive and suicide bomb into them if they need to. And with the carriers gone, the Phoenixes are no threat to this game. Ling's still running around the main, by the way. I picked off pretty much the last remaining probe. Actually, literally the last remaining probe. New one's coming out in a second, but I mean, what can Stats do with 1 probe? GG, he knows it too. Losira takes the game.
What a surprise here, Losira.